Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen,
How are you?
I'm well to quite well.
Yeah. Did you guys avoid the snow? Was it snowing when you were on your way over?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Is it going to get bad?
I don't know.
I keep hearing it's going to be awful this winter. Have you guys been hearing that?
I guess.
It's winter in Michigan, you know?
Yeah, I know, but some are way worse than others. I keep hearing this one's going to be just brutal.
Well, with the
I'm
bomb
waiting for
cyclone
it.
and all, you know?
Yeah. What was that again?
The bomb cyclone.
Yeah, I know. That's in California, though, right? What is the bomb cyclone?
No,
know
I think that's moving across. I thought that was part of the wintry mix we received last week, no?
So I assumed it was just hanging out in California. You're saying it starts in California and then makes its way here?
I don't think it was ever a California
yeah,
thing.
I thought it was a
Yeah, I thought that's
Midwest
where the-
thing. That's what shit
Like
on
Denver
everybody
or
over
something,
Thanksgiving.
or-
Denver, but they were talking about, remember, they were talking about in Northern California and Southern, all the flooding and stuff, and the bomb cyclone, that's where that was going to be. And I was like, oh, okay, but I just assumed it lived there permanently. I didn't know it fucking moved around.
I think it's like El Nino, you know? It affects the whole system.
The whole
The
thing.
high pressure
Aha.
zone moves in.
Aha.
You get it.
Yeah, I get it now. Anyway, a lot going on today. Shocked to read these stories, man, about these hockey coaches and stuff. You know,
We're not really that shocked, are you?
well,
I'm shocked to hear hockey players bitching about hockey coaches.
yes, that's what it is.
I mean,
And
Yeah, but I think it was so obvious. If you're talking about Babcock, I think it was so obvious he was a cocksucker and people hated him from every team he was
Really?
on. Yeah.
I mean, what makes you say that?
I just remember, dude.
Is it
no
the look on
player-
his face, or
No, I just remember feeling like there
looks
was
like a wicked witch, doesn't
people
he?
that were-
totally. Remember we
just-
colored his face
oh
green
my
that one
God.
time because he looked like such a
Put a witch hat on him and
Yeah.
Oof.
I just feel
Yeah, I'm
like
with
I
you, E.
really
That-
remember players from past teams he'd been on in the Wings, and the minute he left the Wings, people
Yeah,
being
wasn't he
saying
with the
stuff
Ducks?
or
He was with the
yeah.
Ducks for a long time, and
Yeah.
I do remember that sort of being the report too. But
I just
but then
really remember feeling like people thought he was a cocksucker.
Yeah.
I really got that.
well, he's got a
opinion already.
cocksuckerish look on his face.
He
I
does.
will give you that.
But the Johan Franzen thing coming out, I guess he was on a podcast, or maybe he was just interviewed in
He was
Sweden.
in Sweden, yes.
Okay,
And then,
Chelios was on a podcast.
yes, the
Spit and Chicklets.
Spit and Chicklets podcast. And I was texting with Darren McCarty this morning, and I was like, hey, dude, can we call you? And I want to, talk about Babcock. And he's on a plane making his way back from Israel, so we might talk to him tomorrow. I was like, boy, he sounds like a real fucking piece of work. He's like, oh, yeah. So I'm dying to know, like, what that means with these guys. Like, I want to know more about this Johan Franzen story. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you have, Johan suffered how many concussions within
Right.
a very short period of time?
he had
So-
a brilliant span there, right? The mule, yeah.
He was just putting the puck in the net like every game. It
Constantly.
just seemed like he was on the road, and they paid him like that too.
Yeah.
That you saw this one great year or year and a half or whatever, and got a big contract and got all the concussions. And so when I hear this, I sort of take it with the guy's been concussed so badly.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who's run into him, around town or whatever, knows him a little bit, and
Yeah.
every time he runs into him, Franz is just
kinda-
like, fuck, I'm really still dealing with this stuff, and it's
Really?
really hard to deal with. And
Yeah, well, it sounds like the teammates, because Chelios did the interview you mentioned, the guys on the team didn't really know the extent of the depression he was dealing with and the concussion issues that he was still dealing with, post-traumatic, kind of thing. That's really come to the forefront in the last few years,
Yeah.
with these athletes.
yeah,
But
so how much of an effect would Babcock have had on him had he not been, in this condition, right?
Well, he says, he's the worst person I've ever met.
I know.
I mean, I don't know. Franzen described Babcock as a great coach, but he's a terrible person. The worst I've ever met. He's a bully who was attacking people. Could be a cleaner at the arena in Detroit or anybody. He would lay into people without any reason. I remember hearing that kind of thing when Michigan's current coach, Harbaugh, was with the Niners. That was kind of the behind the
Just a
scenes
cocksucker,
story
yeah.
was that,
Abusive to even the staff. and stuff, yeah.
secretaries, people behind the scenes. I
That-
wasn't
to-
there. I
to
don't
me,
know,
that's
but
a huge tip-off of
Huge.
a real cocksucker.
right.
You are absolutely a dick if you can't treat a secretary or the cleaning staff properly.
We had people that worked with us, and I'm not name names. People you wouldn't even know them anyways, but that that get the smallest amount of power. Like, you're in charge of these 3 interns, and it's like they take advantage of that to all of a sudden you learn months later, like, oh yeah, that guy was fucking doing this, and you're like, what? Why didn't you say something? Well, I don't want to start shit. People don't want to start shit, and so it's like you know, you can see how that works, but I just don't get that whole thing. Like, why would you treat someone less than you like shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or when you're out to dinner with someone and they're treating the waitress like a real cocksucker, and it's just embarrassing, and you feel like, what is with you, man? Like,
Yeah.
just because she's lower than you, quote
Yeah.
unquote, at this moment, right?
Yeah.
She's serving you, so you can just be a dick to her.
I had a girlfriend
That's just
that was
ugh.
like that, you know, yell at you know, get into it with a waitress or you know,
boy.
someone at the fucking grocery store, you know, who's ringing you up. You're like, what is the point? What are you doing?
Yeah.
This person's making shit, you know, in their 50s. They don't want to be here bagging groceries. That's where they are, and you know, they need you on top of it to bitch at them for, you know, putting eggs in the bag and then putting something on top. Like, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
Stop it. So anyway, Franzen asked if a player ever came to him and accused Babcock of abusive behavior. Kenny Holland said no. The answer's no. Not real surprising there. You imagine, like, the guys that are on a professional hockey team are not going to be tattling to upper management, you know, about a coach or someone like that. Franzen also confirmed the story that Chelios revealed during that Spit and Chicklets podcast during Game 5 of the Wings' 2012 playoff series against Nashville. Some of the things Babcock said to Franzen on the bench, I don't know what he said to him behind closed doors one-on-one, but he blatantly verbally assaulted him during the game on the bench. It got to the point where poor Johan, no one really knowing he was suffering with the concussion thing and the depression thing, he just broke down and had a nervous breakdown. Not only on the bench, but after the game in one of the rooms in Nashville. It was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. I mean, think about some of the things Chelios has probably seen.
Right. But again, you've got this guy who has this condition, who's reacting not like a healthy person probably would to a guy yelling at him, right? So that's what
Yeah.
exemplifies this whole thing, is the condition.
Yeah, but don't you think, like, if Chelios is going, dude, this coach is saying shit, this is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
No,
Like,
he's not saying that. He's saying Johan Franzen's reaction to it is one of the worst things he's ever seen. He said he was verbally assaulted. Yeah. But so what? You know, coaches
Yeah.
verbally assault people all the time.
I was verbally assaulted by a coach. It stunk. I remember it saying, was it you, Sally? Was it you, Lisa?
Sally.
Alice? Was it you, Alice? Fucking scream. We're like 8 years, you know, like, now we're older than that, probably 13 years old, like standing there. Which one of you pussies told their mommy that I'm not a good coach, that I'm mean to you? Was it you, Alice? Was it you, Lisa? I was like, wasn't me. I'm Alice, by the way. It wasn't me. Oh, but it was. I did tell on him. Oh, no. He's going to find out. There was a bunch of players that fucking hated this guy. He was the assistant coach, and it was like, you get your rocks
The
off,
assistant
pal.
coach of a-
Screaming at fucking 12-year-old, 13-year-olds on a football team who suck, by the way. Are those, is the day of that coach going out the window, do you think, Jay?
Yeah.
Because you're around more coaches than I am, obviously.
Like a football coach who's just like at a middle school just screaming at people. Yeah, that's probably going by the wayside, right?
I would think
'Cause
kids wouldn't.
parents will step up and put a stop to that,
Right.
right? Whereas back in our day, it was like, well, you know, it's coaching.
Yeah, well, you got to take it. You know, do what your coach says.
Rub some dirt on it. and
Yep,
get
spit
back
on it. So the incident still haunts Franzen, who was forced to retire in 2015 after repeated head injuries. I get the shivers when I think about it. That incident occurred against Nashville in the playoffs. It was coarse, nasty, and shocking, but that was just one out of 100 things he did. The tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg. He would lay into a couple other players, the nice team players, the guys who don't say very much. When they left the team, he went on to focus on me. It was verbal attacks. He said horrible things. I want to know what constitutes horrible things, you know? And that's an interesting thought, though, you know, like what the concussion stuff.
Oh my God, it's the
what
whole
that play-
story.
You
It's
think
the whole
so? Like,
story. That nobody's complained about him in this regard before. Like he says,
I don't
kind of the
agree with that. I don't think
well,
that's
no,
true,
I'm
but-
saying the
Oh.
MO on him was, yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah.
But this wasn't front page story until guy with concussion
Yeah.
who suffered from
But, like,
depression
the minute he
gets
was-
berated, and it was an ugly scene.
The minute he
Guy
was
had a
fired from
nervous
Toronto,
breakdown.
when he was fired from Toronto, instantly I just thought, oh, he's probably like just another, he roared out his welcome again.
Yeah, you
That's like-
thought that, but
yeah.
the point is, nobody has come forward with some story like this that's
Yeah.
shocking in any way. It's the whole story is the fact that he was
Yeah.
concussed.
Well, I think there are other players Mark
Yeah, who
Crawford.
says a dick.
Yeah.
Mark Crawford now, this is the
Right.
interesting one,
Yeah.
where he's accused of physically assaulting people on the Blackhawks.
Kicking guys in the butt on the bench.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Former Avs coach, you remember him?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's
Fuck yeah.
he's an assistant now. I didn't, I wouldn't like. He was a head coach for. I think of him as a head coach, Mark Crawford.
Yeah.
But said Monday that assistant, the Blackhawks said Monday, Mark Crawford will stay away from the team while they investigate.
Is Scotty Bowman still involved with the Blackhawks?
I don't know.
Wasn't he GM for a while, or he was in
Was
the front
he?
office somehow? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We could probably look it up. Sean Avery told the New York Post that Crawford had kicked him during an NHL game during the 06-07 season.
067.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Is there no statute of limitations on this shit?
Oh, I kicked you in the can in 06. You're gonna whine about it now. This is when Crawford was head coach of the Kings. He kicked me after a too many men on the ice call I took. He didn't have me serve it. We got scored on. And he let me have it. You know how I stand at the end of the bench. So he obviously stands up. It sounds like at the end of the bench, where most guys sit. He gave me a kick in the ass that left a mark. Ooh. Think about the thickness of the fucking pants hockey players wear. How hard would you have to be kicked in the ass to leave a mark? It's part of a trend. He said, but he found the incident more bemusing, he said, than upsetting, which I would think most guys would. It's part of a trend of NHL players making accusations against coaches. It's already cost the Flames coach, Bill Peters, his job. After Babcock was fired by the Leafs, Akeem Alou, a former NHL player born in Nigeria, tweeted that Peters, a one-time assistant to Babcock on the wings, used a racial slur in his presence. Michael Jordan later tweeted that Peters had kicked him in the ass during a game while Peters was coaching the Carolina Hurricanes. I didn't know Michael Jordan was playing hockey.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, this guy's amazing.
Amazing.
Peters resigned from the Flames on Friday. Former NHL player Patrick O'Sullivan also tweeted of Crawford saying, "Abuse of power has no place in hockey or in anything else. As someone who went through awful things with my first NHL coach who knew my abuse background as a child, I hope they all get what's coming to them, and I hope it happens fast."
Obviously, the racial comments, totally over the line, shouldn't happen.
Sure.
None of that. But come on, man. You can yell at people. You can kick them in the can every now and then, can't you? Is this the softening of the NHL we see before us?
Yeah, I think it is, man. I think it is. People, we've taught society that everyone has a voice and an opinion that needs to be heard at all times.
And we've given them a megaphone called Twitter.
And, when you've got former players opening up on a talk show or getting comfortable in an interview, and you're like, what's Crawford like? One time he kicked me in the ass, Who knows how it was said? Because it doesn't sound like Sean Avery was all that, found it more funny than anything.
Yeah.
But some of these other guys, man. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested to ask McCarty, like, what some of these guys are like, because imagine some of them could get
Oh,
pretty...
I don't doubt that Babcock. Like,
He's got cock in his name, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just like I said. You're right.
Comes off as a dick.
I'm not saying. I don't know. Like, I know what you're saying about the Franz thing, but on the same hand, like 100%, he was one of those coaches that could only be in a town for a certain amount of period because
but a lot of guys move around. I'm interested in what makes you guys think, like, is there anything just besides the cock in his name and the way he looks? Because he does look like a cock.
I
I'll
swear
give you
I
that.
heard, maybe I didn't hear exact things like you're right, like we're hearing now, but dude, I'm not even someone who watches hockey, who keeps an ear to hockey that much. And I just remember when he left here that it was very obvious the players were fucking done with him.
I agree with you, E. And I remember...
See, why do you say that it's very obvious the
It
players
was just the...
I don't know
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't remember interviews like that. I just remember... Yeah, that was my sense, too.
I mean, you're
And-
obviously right. You guys are right, clearly.
But I'm like E. I'm not a huge hockey guy. I don't follow every interview. I don't
Yeah.
listen to everything and all that. But that was the feeling, right? That he was
It was
sort of
done.
wearing out his welcome.
By far, too, to me.
Yeah.
Like, and if you really, one of the other things Franzen says, I thought in that thing was like, that like he said they got to a point where people were afraid to make mistakes, and he said, dude, if you notice, he was a good coach, but he didn't get out of the first round a lot of times or something like that. And
Yeah.
yes, he won some cups and stuff, but he was, I think,
He said he dreaded going to the rink.
but I think he said that some of his feeling is that he had made it such a, like, oh my God, I don't even want to have an offside or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why teams were sometimes choking
Just-
in early rounds.
Yeah,
because they
get
were
bounced early.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's relevant. This whole Franzen was afraid to go to the ring. Again, though, you have
Yeah.
to...
Yeah.
He was a special circumstance.
Yeah.
Ask McCarty if he was afraid to go to the rink or if other players were afraid to go to the rink, right?
Yeah.
Would they have preferred a nicer guy? Probably, right? But I think Johan is an extreme example.
That seems, I mean, if it's like you're saying, that seems almost negligent on the part of, medical staff almost. If you've got a guy that's clearly not, healthy enough mentally or whatever to be out there, you would think that they would know that. And
No, I think he sat for a long, long, long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
He got him in quick succession.
yeah.
And just kept coming back.
Is he the one that was signed forever?
Yeah.
We might still be playing.
Yeah,
paying on.
I think so. Look that up. Just see what
I was trying
Johan
to think
Johan Franzen's contract. I think it is going through this year. That's insane.
Isn't
man.
that insane? Wasn't there a
He looked
basketball
so
player?
good at one point, though.
Wasn't there a basketball player like that recently?
John Lure on the Pistons, I think, was getting an unbelievable. You know who he is?
No.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
He was.
How do you know who that?
A Wisconsinite. They picked this guy up and they took on his contract. I think it was one of these sign and trades,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They had to match contracts
Yeah.
somehow. And this dude was making like $23 million or some shit, some outrageous amount, just sitting on the end of the bench for years.
Was it a baseball player out of New York or a basketball player with the Knicks we were talking about months ago that has been retired for like 20 years and his contract is finally up this year or something?
don't know.
He's still getting paid.
I don't remember that.
Fuck.
It looks like it says in 2019-20, Franzen will earn a base salary of $1 million while carrying a cap hit of $3.9 million.
When was the last time
Contract
Johan
notes,
Franzen played a
82
game?
Contract, what was it? It looks like 2012. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's 7 years ago. Can you
In
imagine?
a salary cap era.
Wow, that's madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. 5th annual toy drive over at Hamlin Pub. Please donate a new unwrapped toy to help a child this Christmas. You can do so December 7th, 1 to 6 p.m. at Hamlin Pub's Shelby locations, their Chesterfield location, as well as Richmond. Of course, if you stop by and don't bring a Warman or a Fishman, bring good toys, unwrapped
Yes.
toys, you can get free pizza and salad during that time frame, 1 to 6 p.m. on December 7th.
I was wrong. Last game was October 10th, 2015, it looks like. But
Okay, still.
still. Yeah, 4
Yeah,
years.
still. So was it, for people that go to the Hamlet event, listeners of ours, is it appropriate for us to ask them to maybe snap a picture of what they brought? And
Oh,
send
yeah.
email it to
Yes.
us just so we
Just
can.
out of curiosity
Yeah,
more
I
than
mean,
anything.
we're not-
we're not going to comment on it on air. We won't
No.
criticize, or
Absolutely
cast
not.
aspersions. We're just curious.
And we're not saying you got to bring one of those kick-ass little like drivable cars and stuff like that, but just so we're aware. You guys appear generous over the years to us, and
Just wondering.
yeah, just curious. Obviously, we would never out anybody or use that information at all. But anyone that goes there, if you wouldn't mind, right, Jay, they can just send that to.
Yeah, email at DetroitCast.com.
Very good, very good. Gabrielle Union, we were talking about her yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably more famous in the last 2 days than ever, right?
Probably, right?
She was the one that horribly offended by the Jay Leno racist comment. Actually, I think it was just a comment, a fact. He's trying to be funny, old, dated, about
It
Koreans.
was not a neutral comment toward Koreans, though. You agree? I mean, there's,
Well-
it's a negative stereotype.
Sure, but that doesn't make it not true.
Understood. We discussed this at length. I'm just saying, like, you
Yeah.
can't just be like, well, it was
Well,
it
he's
was a positive comment about Koreans, and
Nope.
she had a problem with it.
didn't say
It wasn't
was.
a negative comment about Koreans.
It was just a fact.
I'm sorry, it wasn't a neutral comment. It was a negative comment.
He's a comic. And his
Understood.
job is to be funny. You have a comic on there.
But you can't just dismiss it as like,
I
it
can
was just,
dismiss
he
the
said the sky
racist
was
nature
blue.
of it. That's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem that she's offended by it, or she goes, that's a stereotype they're
It
trying
is
to
a
get
stereotype.
past.
It's negative.
Absolutely. But racist, I don't think that falls under the definition of racist.
Such an old
would we
joke.
agree
Too.
with that?
That's my problem.
Yeah, I mean,
So old.
What would you do though? You see Simon in a painting with 3 little homo-y dogs.
I'd
Those
probably
little-
call Simon a homo or something.
Well,
See, I don't
Look
think
at
I'd
you
do that
and your
either.
faggoty white dogs, huh?
Right. I don't
See,
know.
if you did that
That'd
though,
be
I
way
think
worse.
I think they'd have a problem
That'd
with
be
that
done.
as well. So as far as like on balance, Jay Leno versus Jay Detroit Cast comments, I don't think you win.
Yeah.
So
His
what-
got cut from the show. Mine would seriously get cut from the
maybe
show.
maybe it airs and then there's outrage. Of course, Twitter's going to be outraged. E, what would you say if you saw a painting of Simon with 3 homo-y white dogs?
I'd have to see the painting, to be honest with you. I'd have to know the situation.
You don't know what a homo-y white fluffy dog looks like?
I don't even
Times
I don't
3
have a
and put
I don't have a
Simon Cowell
stock
there.
I don't have a stock joke that I'd have to be in the moment and decide what I decided to make.
You
fun of
wouldn't
him.
lean towards, oh, that looks like food in South Korea, or
No.
what a homo, like Jay would.
Neither of those things.
Okay.
For sure. But like not because like, but just because it's like I don't know.
I
Those
think
aren't those-
Jay's on the right path. If you saw that, like, anytime you see a little tiny dog with a guy, 3 of them, I'd be like, all right.
They're both low-hanging fruit
Homo.
jokes, though, right? Oh, homo
Well-
and Korean dog meat. You know, I mean, come on.
Well, you're
They're
judging
really
a guy.
bad.
He's
They're
in the
both really
moment. He's
bad.
on stage in the moment. He's a comic. He's got to do something with that. You know. And now, who are we to judge after the fact? You know, like, do gooder, do better, Mr. Leno.
Well, I'm not. That's why I'm not really saying anything. I just don't know. I'd have to be in that moment and see the photo and decide how he's feeling.
You can see the photo. It's everywhere, Ian. And I'm shocked you can't picture Simon Cowell and 3 little homo-y dogs. That's
But I'd have to be in the moment to know what I would say.
Okay.
I don't know.
Gabrielle Union has a meeting scheduled with NBC this week following her firing from America's Got Talent. Why? Why? You're not working there anymore. Why would you have a meeting with them?
Effectuate change. Mike, if she can stop this from happening to one other person, it will all be worth it.
Yeah. So I smell a publicity stunt, bigly.
A continuing publicity stunt.
Yeah. She was fired from the hit. She wasn't really fired. They just didn't renew her contract
Yeah.
or Julianne Huff's contract. I mean, it's not quite the same thing. It's not like mid-contract they have a problem with her,
Right.
you know, and shit can her.
I don't actually think these dogs are dogs that you would see in a Chinese restaurant menu.
Those are cute little guys.
No, pooh.
I take that back.
Yeah.
Those aren't faggoty dogs.
Yeah. I thought they were more little fluffy white guys.
Yeah. Look
Simon's
at Simon.
face,
My
Jesus.
God, man.
That's offensive.
Yeah.
That's more offensive than the joke.
Wow.
What is he doing? You know, men have played this game. We've avoided this game forever.
Yeah.
The collagen injections, the smoothing of the skin, the Botox. Sir, what are you doing? Does it? What human being doesn't have a single wrinkle on their face or line on their forehead?
Yeah, it's so weird looking.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd start with his hair. His hair is so bad, how he has that, like, part.
Yeah, it's
that's
like
really
Sean
prominent.
Hannity.
Yes.
That
Oh.
hitty- I
yeah,
can't
very
even look
similar.
at Hannity. His part is so bad. Yeah, what Simon is? That's his real hair, right?
I think so.
Assuming. I mean, it looks like. I'd like to see him with your haircut.
5 on top, 2 on the sides, 3
Yeah.
on blonde. Why not?
Yeah,
I'd like to see the world with 5 on top, 2 on the
Yeah,
sides. 3
not
on blonde.
everybody can pull that
In my
off.
opinion, it's the best, and it should be happening more. Isis, 5 on top, 2 on the
Nah,
sides.
I don't prefer
You know
it,
what?
but-
It's days like this, moments like this, when I really, really miss K Dog. You know what I mean? Because K Dog could absolutely take your hair. Give me 3 minutes.
He'd do that, right? I mean, he'd
Hell
always
yeah.
have. Yeah, he had the long hair for a while, but then he'd do short hair and stuff.
Oh, K Dog? No, I meant he would Photoshop
Oh,
your
I
hair
gotcha,
onto
gotcha.
Simon so we could get
Oh,
an
yeah,
image
yeah.
and see what it looks like. Did you guys get it? Did you guys see the text from K Dog wishing us happy Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah, I did.
I did. I
it was
did
nice
not
to hear
respond
from
in the end for some reason. I didn't mean to, but I just didn't.
I responded on our behalf. I think. I
Thank
said,
you.
You too.
Well, we didn't mean to.
I think I said you too.
Yeah.
Right back at you.
There you go.
Happy thing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like the one all the way to the left.
Yeah, the other two
Look like twins.
Yeah, they're cute.
Do you think the one to the left feels a little left out in the family? Because it looks like the two on the right are really close, bonded as a group with Simon, and then the
See, I-
little guy on the far left looks like he's on his own.
I think if it were me, if you were really gonna make, if I was gonna make fun, looking at it now, if we were sitting here, I'd be like, well, still, something about those V-necks still, like making fun of him for still wearing these fucking V-necks at his age, or
Is
something
that a
like that.
V-neck
Like,
or is it
I
just
was
a
gonna say-
wide crew neck?
I think it's a V.
I think it's a wide crew.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the play is to criticize Simon instead of the dogs. You're
Yeah.
right, but I think, Mike, I think you're wrong. I think the guy on the left,
Yeah.
has been owned longer, and
Mm.
I think he thinks of himself as prominent because of that.
Yeah.
Like he's got an attitude like,
He's
well,
really-
I was the first. I was the first of the family.
You think he's puffed up a little
I
bit?
think I think Simon got him first.
Mm.
And because he was such a good dog,
Yeah.
he decided to get those 2 other guys.
Yeah, don't get anyone bigger than me, though. You don't have to get me, but don't get anyone bigger than me. I don't
Do we have
want
names, Isis?
I don't.
I think it's Bill on the left.
I would go Keith and Carl.
Keith is awesome. Keith and Matt. There's Matt all the way to the right. Anyone seen Keith? Matt, have you seen Keith? Bill? Look at those guys. If I was Jay Leno and that popped up, I'd probably go, I haven't seen a picture with 4 dogs in it in such a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Simon's a dog, too.
Yes.
You know? He went with, Korean
Am I reading
food.
this right? Is it Diddley, Freddie, and Daisy?
Yeah,
I'll
you're
show-
reading that right.
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Freddie. Freddie's not bad.
Daisy for sure, right?
Daisy, yes.
And then
Simon is devoted to his dogs. In December, he adopted a terrier cross named Daisy while in Barbados. A new companion for his Yorkshire Terriers, Squidly and Diddley.
Oh,
So I was
Squidly
wrong.
and Diddley.
Squidly and Diddley were first owned.
Oh, yeah. And then they brought Daisy
Interesting.
into the mix. Where did you get Freddie?
well, and then it says and Freddie, his mother's dog. So
No.
Diddley
Did you
and
read
Freddie,
the
his mother's dog.
continue reading there, Jay, the last line?
Simon has previously
I didn't
admitted
read-
he plans to clone his dogs one day.
Why? Because are you going to destroy all of Bob Barker's hard work in one day, sir? Get people cloning their dog like we need more dogs.
I know.
Come on.
Go adopt a new one.
Yeah.
New chapter in life. Experience something different.
Anyway, so the purpose of the meeting is to this according to Deadline. She will sit down with legal counsel retained by NBC to discuss ways to improve what she sees as a toxicity that has become normalized at Talent. Let's call it Talent. Purpose of the meeting is to be held at the Beverly Hills law firm is to see how the culture and atmosphere in the series can be improved. But Gabrielle will not, under any circumstance, return as a judge. I mean, that's over. Gabrielle believes there is toxicity that has become normalized. She wants to help fix that because she loved a lot of her time on the show last season, even with the issues with Simon and what have you. So,
Well, good. Some good will come out of this.
isn't that NBC's job to fix the toxicity at their job?
Yeah, but she's
not.
They're-
she's just
they're not
wanting to
doing
help.
it, though.
She's just wanting to help.
E, why don't you go over to Meyer or no, go to Big Boy today and just say, you know what? There were some issues I had when I worked here that I'd like to work with you on.
Hey,
this
this
is
is
a fair comparison,
It's an
but-
exit interview, essentially.
yeah, I don't know if that's a fair.
What can we do better?
It's a former employee, right?
Yeah,
she doesn't
but you're
work at
talk-
NBC
no,
anymore.
But you're that's different, man. I was there years ago, and it's not even the same people there anymore. I mean, this is something that just happened.
Yeah. Well, it's
Look, I'm not. Whatever.
Sounds like
I'm
she's
just-
scheduled an exit interview.
yeah. According to the source, she will meet with outside counsel retained by NBC. It's not clear if any reps from the network itself will be present. Wouldn't that be kind of weird if they don't? If they just hired an outside law firm to meet with her, but then they're not there in the meeting? Sources close to NBC say the network is determined to show that any investigation they initiate maintains strict and unbiased independence in the wake of these shocking allegations. Shocking allegations. I'd really like to know what was going on being said behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Because if it's just the Jay Leno thing,
Well, it's
fucking grow up.
the hair is too black, right? That's what she's
Oh,
hung up
yeah.
on.
Did we ever determine what
No.
too black of hair is?
I just can't think of any hairstyle that would shock anybody anymore. I can't.
Dreadlocks?
No.
But I don't think she dreadlocked up.
No, it's not shocking.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but you know the problem with I guess the answer would that be is there might have just been if you have one racist that's working there that just decides he's like, oh man,
A rogue
fucking
racist.
coming in here with her freaking African hair, change it up or something. I don't know. I'm just saying that I agree, but I'm saying that probably if there was a situation, that's probably what it would be, right? Like,
but staff there is going, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
no
I
one
get
would
it.
ever.
right?
No. I mean, they all have crazy hairdos and crazy
oh, trust me, I
outfits.
don't believe it. I'm just telling you that's
Yeah.
if that happened,
Well,
that's probably
I think
how it
it's-
would be.
I think it's irresponsible to drop a sentence like this and not give us a little bit more information. If you're going to make that accusation, she also received more than a half dozen notes criticizing hairstyles as too black for the show's core audience.
I want to know. You're right.
A half
There
dozen
should
notes
be-
from what? From a top executive? From viewers?
I know 6 notes.
Simon
from-
Cowell? Did Simon Cowell give her these notes?
By
Like,
the way, if you think about it too, like the phrasing "half a dozen"
What do they
versus saying
stick-
6, how much bigger that doesn't it sound? So I received half a dozen versus if you said like I had 6. I don't. I just think it sounds bigger.
half
to
dozen
me.
sounds bigger. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll give
like
you that.
there's something to it that sounds more.
So what I want to know too, is it like a sticky note?
I know.
Is she getting mailed towards it?
It's
Does she
comments on Twitter, probably.
Does she go back to her dressing room and there's this yellow sticky note on the door? Hair still too black for core audience.
Try again.
Try again. Hair still too black. She's going, I don't know what to do. I am black. My hair's always going to be black. So women's advocacy group Time's Up, which is responsible, and thank you for this, for the hashtag #MeToo movement in Hollywood, issued a very strongly worded statement in support of union. I love these people who aren't there, aren't involved, but absolutely we're taking this side. This needs to end now. I'm pretty sure Gabrielle Union will be just fine. Tina Chen, CEO, blasted NBC. Gabrielle Union's experience at America's Got Talent is exemplary of the double bind that black women face at work. Not only did she reportedly endure and witness racist and inappropriate behavior, including racially insensitive comments and excessive criticism about her physical appearance, that's the two black hair, right? But it also appears she was punished for speaking out. The company labeled her as difficult before ousting her from the show altogether.
If you want to pin it on something, pin it on that.
Union's story is deeply troubling on its own, but her experience is particularly problematic because it follows a pattern of NBC's protecting the careers of powerful men at the expense of women who speak out. Stop speaking out then. Just go to work. Don't be a pain in the ass. You're a pain in the ass. Difficult. Who wants to be difficult at work? Ugh. I don't know if you can say that to people, though, can you, Jay? You can't just tell them not.
No,
Don't complain about anything.
you can't.
So yeah, let's see. NBC still has a lot of work to do to change its culture. So discrimination, harassment, and retaliation are no longer tolerated at the company. Building a culture of safety and equity requires continuous intentional work sustained over long. Oh, God, that sounds awful and boring. Even when a company isn't in the throes of a crisis, ensuring people of all kinds are respected and supported at work is critical for any company, but especially a media company like NBC, which has such outsized influence, blah, blah, blah. I could imagine Simon Cowell being a dick to work for. Isn't he the executive producer on all these things? And I'm pretty sure he is.
I actually don't think. Honestly, that's funny. I would see it the other way. I don't really think that I get the opinion that Simon Cowell's an asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
I
really don't.
totally see him being a dick. I mean, we've seen how he treats contestants.
Wow, that's a.
It's a
Actually,
shit.
that's only he really only did that if you on America's on the Idol back in the day. I think he like way loosened up on some of the other versions of shows he's done since then.
Howard Stern, who was a judge
Yeah.
on AGT,
That's when I started hating Howard Stern. Not that I ever liked him. But
Yeah.
that's when I decided that he was a
Jumped
real
the
Sold
shark.
out.
Well, yeah, he sold out. That's where I decided that, dude, Mr. Oh, I don't, always going on and on about how he doesn't really
Fuck
want all
Hollywood
this
and-
stuff, and I don't need this stuff. And, it'd be one thing if he hadn't recently, before that, signed a, $500 million deal to Sirius.
yeah.
But when he did AGT, I was just like, oh, you fucking cocksucker.
Oh.
You do need the attention.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not even the money. It's not the money. It's just he
Well,
needs...
if you hear him, I haven't listened to him in forever.
Yeah,
but
and I
when
never
you
really
do,
listened, by the way,
He's
but-
talking about, I was with Jimmy over the weekend, Kimmel,
Yeah.
and Jennifer Aniston, and Adam said, it's like, dude, what happened to the guy that destroyed all these people on the daily?
Yeah.
Like, he hated Hollywood, the culture, celebrities, and nobody, now it's like a...
And like I said, honestly, I never really listened, so I can't be not like I was a fan who then got turned off, but just I was a fan of radio and the idea
Yeah.
of what I thought of him. And when he did AGT, I just remember going, "Fuck that."
Yeah. I don't know.
Not that it matters, but
For context, you got to take into account. I think Stern and Cowell have some sort of beef. That there's something there.
Oh, is he supporting Gabrielle Union here?
Well, he says he on his show yesterday. I guess this is everywhere, so he addressed it. How is it that freak Simon Cowell has orchestrated this? He has set it up that the men stay, no matter how old they are, no matter how fat they are, no matter how ugly they are, no matter how talentless they are. What he manages to do on all his shows is he constantly replaces the hot chicks with hotter chicks and younger chicks.
this
which
is coming
so
from Howard
obvious.
Stern.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, dude, no offense, but what do you do on your show with having stripper, hookers eat each other out or shit
Yeah, stuffing bats and
Yeah.
pussies and, yeah.
Like,
Well, I guess his point is it's sexist to have guys that can be ugly and fat and whatever, but
Yeah.
chicks, you just keep replacing them with hotter ones. But
Very woke of Howard.
yeah, Howard's very woke these days. Very woke. Sharon Osbourne spent 6 seasons as a judge there, and she spoke out having her own problems with her sound like NBC. I wasn't fired. I loved everybody on that show. Everybody except the network. And then Sunday night, Jay Leno, we didn't watch this video yesterday, but he said, she's a great girl. She's a great girl. And I saw people like, oh, God,
Girl.
Girl.
Yeah.
She is a woman, sir.
Yeah, in his quote, I think he
for the
referred to
love of
her as a
fuck.
girl twice, if I read
Wow.
that correctly. Yeah.
So he's white and old and male. What do you expect? She's a great girl. Monster. Monster. E, do you have the video of Leno? And this is so funny. He's gonna. Did you see this, Jay?
No, I read it.
He's gonna half the interview he's pretending like he's talking, but he's not talking. So it's like, oh, the audio's not working. It's hilarious.
Hey, how are you?
Jay, I gotta ask. That's really funny. You always do that. Listen, I gotta ask. Do you regret telling that joke, the Korean joke? Or are you just a comedian being a comedian? My sound's not working. Right? Why do you think Gabrielle Union got fired? In all seriousness,
I love
Jay.
Gabrielle Union. She's a great girl. I really enjoy working with her. She's really good.
Do you think was she treated fairly though?
Worked for
I
them
don't
for
know.
a day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think she's a great girl.
The joke. Let's go back to the joke.
Oh, I can't.
No, do you regret telling the joke though? You're just being a look. Are people
back to the
are people too sensitive
miming
right
thing.
now, Jay?
I can't.
About comedians. This is a serious topic though.
Oh, yes.
No, we're.
And this is the place to discuss it on the street with traffic going by.
All right, Jay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
What was that last comment? Something on the street with traffic lights?
He was like, "This is a great place."
Yeah,
to
this
discuss
isn't the place to be discussing it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, out in public for TMZ. I would argue that Jay Leno's joke was a good thing. You know, there's a lot of people who are not aware of the issue, dog meat being consumed in Korea. Now it's on the forefront.
Someone reminded us via email that this was an issue during the Olympics where Olympians were like, I'm bringing dogs back. This is absurd. Like,
I
people are
think
eating
they
them.
did. We're eating them. It's just got
People are eating these things.
like
I'm going to
raw
save this
fish,
dog.
Just a dog, just
Yeah.
cutting it up. Yeah, that's well. It's we're discussing. We don't. It's not a common occurrence on our show, anyways, to be discussing cuisine of the South Koreans. We are now. We're more aware of it. So I would say that of all things here, we've learned that Gabrielle Union, hire her at your own peril because she's difficult and going to be difficult and a pain in the ass.
And
apparently.
number two,
We need to do something about dogs being eaten in Korea. So I think that joke was a good thing.
it's a really good
Yeah,
thing.
we've been talking about it for a couple days now. It's great news.
Hey, now a word from our sponsor, Twin Peaks.
At Twin Peaks, there is something from the made-from-scratch menu for every fan's appetite. The perfect sidekick to any meal is a featured rotating tap, served at a frosty 29 degrees in a 22-ounce man-sized mug. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Office Christmas parties. Do people still do that?
Man, I haven't been in an office in a while, but yeah, they were going strong when I left.
Yeah. You had one at the firm every year.
Yeah.
Did you look forward to it? Loved it?
Fucking hated
Dude,
it.
I hated them too.
Yeah.
Dude, does anybody like the office Christmas party?
No.
It seems like there's
I don't think so.
always a few people, a lot of the women seem to dig it, like decorating the kitchen up or wherever we were having it.
Well, I mean, to the extent anyone liked it where we were, like, you didn't do it in the office. You went to a really nice restaurant, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
you got a good meal out of it. And
We went to Tony and Tina's wedding at one.
Oh,
for one.
yeah.
They took all of us to Tony and
the
Tina's.
dinner
Like,
theater.
yeah, it's like, you know what, dude, Tony, I'm just eating a
Tina,
steak. Will
leave me alone.
you kindly fuck off, please, while I'm eating? You're arguing with the family.
I'd never seen that.
Don't.
Not good at all?
No.
I remember that being a thing. Jesus, you ever go to that?
No.
Tony, yeah, that's what it is. Tony and Tina's wedding, right? And
Yeah.
I think they're just running around the tables while you're eating, like having their wedding.
Oh, really?
Having yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
acting out this.
Yeah.
wedding.
Ugh.
I think
thank
it was
you.
like there's some, hey, where's the guy with the ring? And they're shouting across the table. It's like, this is
God.
just uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, thank you.
See if you can find a clip of Tony and Tina's wedding. I'm sure people have filmed it. I hope I'm remembering that right. I wanted to block it because I would never go do that again. But I always remember feeling like I just want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get shit-faced with those people and stuff like that. So anyway, they're saying that some of these traditions.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to think like.
Yeah, just hit
Vegas.
one of them. Let's see.
I got a free tickets with my sister.
Okay, we don't.
Ah,
Yeah, no one
Little
cares.
sticks.
Definitely. Okay, yeah,
who could do Bippo?
It's like I said, open bar
oh, here we go.
too. What's
Yeah,
your
what a
name?
ham.
I'm Dominic. He's Dominic.
Yeah, it's one of Tony's
Are you the
boys.
best man? I wish.
So they just come through and interact with everybody. and-
This woman is just documenting
Here, let me-
being
yeah, let
there,
me-
but
let me try to-
I don't think it started.
Maybe there's a better example.
Go to the top one, dude. Minute 7. Yeah. Official trailer.
Okay, baby.
So,
We are gathered here today to celebrate the banquet of life and witness the feast
wanna
of
get to the point
love
where-
which Valentina and Anthony are
Yeah.
sharing now.
that's the reason I didn't think this was.
Yeah,
gonna be a
you're
good
probably right.
idea.
I didn't know it was a trailer.
I was trying
All
to
right.
find an actual people in the restaurant.
Anyway, that was a Christmas gift one year. Was
boy.
Tony and Tina's wedding.
No, the thing about office parties though, it's like everybody's kind of standing there wanting to go home,
Yeah.
right? And it's just this weird thing, like, well, we got to do this, right? Because
Yeah.
we're nice to our employees.
Yeah,
and
sure. I mean, isn't the best thing about work leaving work?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you go to work because you have to, and then you go do what you want to do with your family, your friends, loved ones, people you actually want to be around. And it's like you're forced to be in this building with these people.
Oh, we don't do this party, and you give me an iPad or something.
An iPad. Don't give me anything. I'll go as far as saying, you know what? Let's not even acknowledge the holidays. How about we come to work and then you don't make me go to work on a Saturday night and bring my wife?
Right.
You know what I mean? No thanks. I can go anywhere with my wife I want.
Dude, there's another one where spouses go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Gab is just like, fuck.
I can only imagine you and Gab in the setting
Okay,
of
pull
the
up,
office
look at each
party.
other. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Gab, you got to meet John. John, you've heard about Gab. Hi,
Oh,
John. He
love
says
them.
such nice things, and I never remember anybody's name. You know, anybody. This is my wife, so and so. They might. It's just white noise. I don't care. I'm not going to see this person till next Christmas,
Yeah.
if you're even together then.
Just hoping desperately someone gets overly drunk and embarrasses themselves, right?
Totally.
And that's why they're canceling these things, right?
Yes. Isn't that funny? That's what you look forward to. Who's going to be the boob?
Yep.
At the thing. You know, the Thanksgiving Day game, the Lions game at halftime, they fucked up the band. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
they had to restart it like 3 times. and there was
Electrical
like,
problems or
Yeah. It's like 5 minutes for the band. The guys are just standing there like, duh. It's like, this is fucking awesome. This
Oh,
is
I know.
And it's like, why? This is horrible. There's mistakes being made. People are embarrassed, and it's like everybody loves this. This is the best possible thing for this halftime show. The best possible thing is this fucked up thing.
Right.
It's just like, who's the guy that's going to be a dipshit at the Christmas party? That's the best part. It's not celebrating the holidays together. It's hoping Bill gets shit faced again.
Yep.
That's all it is. Gets
is
a little
funny.
handsy and pawsy at the party. That's what we look forward to. By the way,
sure.
just circling back to that halftime show, what is the deal with that? What are we doing with the country music fucking national anthem and then the country music halftime show? What's
wrong with that?
in Detroit? It seems odd
What
in
do you mean?
Motown to have.
The national show.
Yeah, they've done a lot of Motown in the past, right?
I know.
They've also done a lot of
Obviously.
everything. I
Aretha.
mean,
Doesn't it seem like, not to offend you, E, I get you like country music. I didn't know who any of those people were.
that doesn't have that. My like
Nobody
of
in my
country
house
music-
knew who those people were.
Oh, Brothers Osborne are pretty big, but that
Yeah,
doesn't have
country
anything.
music is big enough now where that doesn't strike me as odd.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a national thing. It's not like they brought in some.
I know. That's where I'm going with this. Don't you think they could bring in bigger names for something like the Thanksgiving halftime show?
I think
Seems
that-
like over the years, we'll see like, and now at Cowboy Stadium, Tom Petty. And then in Detroit, it's like,
Yeah,
No,
it's
we've had those
hit
people
or-
before.
It's been hit or miss, is my recollection. We obviously had Aretha, who did that amazing rendition.
was
That's still
well
going,
worth it.
I think.
Yeah.
But then there's been just other like blues artists or something where
I hate it when it's that shit. By the way, to be honest with
What,
you.
the Motown stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. So do
Okay,
I. No,
okay.
no, I'm see if you can find a list of halftime performers. It seems like in Dallas they'll get, someone that the whole world knows, for their halftime, and then ours is like, some
I mean, last year last year was Mike Posner. Kid Rock's done it. I remember Bon Jovi did it one year.
Do you have a list, E?
Well, no, I don't. Just a second.
Because I don't remember did Bon Jovi do the halftime gig? It seems like that's a big enough platform. Everybody is watching football on that day. It's a real national spotlight. It seems like you would always be able to get a Beyonce, a Jay-Z, Eminem to do something like that. Maybe not.
so.
I don't know. Maybe not. But the Brothers Osborne, I don't know who that is. And they're fine performers, whatever. But that sheet behind him was a little weird, until it dropped.
Well,
But-
I think it would have been fine if it had technically gone the way it was supposed to, which was just going to be there for a little bit, drop, and then their band would be behind them. It's
yeah,
not weird
it seems like you could have some design on there. They just hung a bed sheet behind them. It just seemed a bit odd, that's all. You have a list there?
bit thrown together.
No, I don't.
No, okay. If you find it. So, does anybody do the mistletoe still?
Oh man.
Can you imagine hanging mistletoe at an office party?
What?
Yeah. People are like, yeah, no. The tradition is at risk of dying out now, as workers say it no longer feels appropriate. The age
Dude,
of
if they
hashtag Me
can't
Too.
sing "Baby It's Cold Outside" without different lyrics, you can no, you cannot have mistletoe anywhere in this Yuletide season.
Isn't there always some ass that wears the hat with mistletoe dangling off the front of it? So,
Sure.
According to a survey of office staff, almost 3/4 would never dream of suggesting a kiss for fear of landing in hot water with, HR, which, yeah, you would. Seems plenty of other so-called traditions are at risk in these PC times. Almost half believe getting drunk in front of your boss is unprofessional, might get them in trouble. 28% insist they have never considered using the office photocopier inappropriately. So what are these all just things you've seen in movies?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Like, are people really doing that? Sitting on the office copy machine and doing their butt cheeks?
Thought that was a movie thing or sitcom.
Not that I wouldn't do it. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to lay your dong on, the
Would
copier. Yeah, why not? And then just tape them all over the building and no one knows whose it is. Instead, let's see. Overall, as many as 86% of workers feel the stereotypically badly behaved office Christmas party is now a thing of the past. I would agree with that. So they studied the study of 2000 by hotel chain Leonardo Hotels found 15% of these parties will be held in the office this year. The majority take place in restaurants, bars, that kind of thing. So, in fact, the average person hopes to spend less than 2 hours at the Christmas party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make your appearance and
Yeah.
I gotta get my kid to soccer.
What's the goal? Go there. You got to make eye contact with the boss, shake his hand, happy holidays. Once that's done,
Gotta have a drink with everybody, right?
lap or two, say hi, make sure they know you were there, and then just Houdini.
Make sure all your subordinates are taken care of, feeling good.
Yeah. 21% believe that any kind of speech at all from the boss is a no-no.
Oh, I disagree.
I do
think-
too,
I think that,
yeah.
that absolutely has to happen and does happen and should.
Yeah, because it's usually when the boss is speaking to a group, it's about upcoming stuff, what we
Hey,
need to do.
we had a good year. Thanks everybody for their efforts.
Yeah.
As cheesy and dumb as you have to.
Yeah, and
You're
seeing
like
them,
the host of the party.
Yeah, seeing them out of their element too, where it's usually like, this guy's usually screaming in my face. Now you get to see him all. Well, we had a great year. He's got his, he's not wearing a suit and tie. He's maybe in a festive sweater of sorts, with maybe some khakis, and he's got a drink in his hand. It's
Loosened
just
up, yeah.
yeah, he's
More
loosened
human.
up, more human, exactly. It's a shame so many people don't enjoy their office Christmas parties these days. They should be a huge celebration of the year. That's what one of the members of the study said. Of the year gone by, which everyone looks back forward to, getting out of the office environment. Blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, getting out of the office environment. Period. So
Go home.
don't reestablish the office environment at a bar or a restaurant.
I know.
Fuck off. Is there anything worse than walking into a place going, oh shit, that's Carl from work?
Well, I always
damn it.
felt like there was enough of that in the places that I've worked, where there was enough after hours cavorting, where, yeah, you had to do it anyway, and so this was just another one. It wasn't like this odd thing where it was like, oh my god, now we're in this weird setting and it feels weird because we're in a bar.
What's it like once a month or something? You would have to do something like that, or tell me something.
I'd be sitting there, and this is more like when I was brand new lawyer, and you're trying to impress and make sure everybody,
Schmooze.
yeah. And so like one of the partners knock on your door at like 5 p.m. on a Friday, and you're just thinking about winding things up. Oh boy, I'm gonna go home and just sit on my couch and, hey, why don't we head down and grab a drink? We've got Phil and Bob. We're gonna meet down at 2:20. Why don't we head down there? And you're like,
2:20 in Birmingham.
yeah, okay. And so,
What? Now, what's to go? You know what, dude? I'd love to, man.
oh,
I'm
dude, I did that
buried.
plenty of times, but you can't do that every week, or it's frowned upon. Like,
Don't even bother.
I mean, he's not a game. He's not,
Not
a team player. Look at him. He just wants to go home.
He's a fantastic lawyer, but he's got to go. He's just a dick. He won't drink with us after work.
Wants to punch a clock. Obviously, he doesn't want to give what needs to be given.
If you're the guy knocking on doors, going, "Hey, you want to join?"
Look, man.
What are you doing?
They got nothing else to do. That was the thing. There's always one or two guys. That's what they want to do. They want to go drink all night, and so they have no family at home. They're probably got a couple friends who are coming to Birmingham anyway later in the night. So why not get it started at 4:30, 5 o'clock and force your subordinates to do it with you?
Yeah, I guess. If you're doing that, stop.
Yes,
just understand that.
Understand, like how can you be so tone deaf to it?
Because it's what they like doing. I like getting shit-faced.
Dude,
so
you're 65 years old and you're asking two 32-year-old guys to go drink with you.
Hell
like,
yeah.
you think they really want to do that, dude? No, they don't.
Do they know that?
They're saying yes.
Are they buying?
Don't want
Is
to
that
be
the
there.
deal? Yeah, let me buy you guys some
That
drinks.
doesn't. Of course, it's going on the firm card, but
Yeah.
who cares? So rather be home.
So what do you got to do? 2 drinks?
Usually.
Can you suck them down pretty good? And then what do you say? Because they're just starting to go.
Well,
At 2 drinks, they're in second gear.
you
And
do have to put it on your family. Like, oh man, I got
it's, wife's gonna kill me if I don't get home.
Well, not that, because you don't want to put your wife in a bad light.
You don't want to look like a pussy either.
Gab's not a team player. Wow.
Well,
Thought they were
let's-
committed to this firm. No, you got to put it on the kids. Some unavoidable kid conflict.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So you don't want it to look like Gab's wearing the pants and pulling you around town, too.
You got to pick up your kid from somewhere.
Well,
It has to happen.
Been drinking now.
No
so-
one else. Dude, they don't care.
Yeah, isn't that the best?
They're lawyers in Birmingham.
Yeah, I remember talking to you years ago about, we were, I don't know how we were talking about it, but some office party, and it's like, whether it's at a hotel, ballroom, or whatever, and it's like you and Gab just end up meandering over to the bar and talking to a waitress.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It
Like,
happened a lot, yeah.
It's like I'd rather talk to the waiter or the
Totally.
fucking, the bus boy.
Front desk guy, whatever.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's so
Be away
funny,
from
man.
these people. Hey, speaking of lawyers, if you've suffered a traumatic accident or injury, don't call the Billboard or TV attorneys. Your first call should be to Ogden Legal Triage. Ogden Legal Triage will find you the right personal injury attorney for your case at no cost. They'll negotiate the best price, save you time, money, and hassle. Who better to help you find a lawyer but a lawyer? Ogden Legal Triage. For more information, go to firstcalldetroit.com.
This sexist world we're living in. It's well known, like, oh, you can't get your wife a vacuum for Christmas, that kind of thing. Why? I've never understood that. Like, my dad would get my mom shit like that all the time. My mom was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Good
like
old
blenders
vacuums
and stuff,
suck.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever
We
like,
bought
even
each other.
thought about it?
We bought each other garage door openers, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get practical when you get older.
Yeah.
Like, look, let's just, let's get a new vacuum and a garage door opener. How about it? We just call it a day. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. You don't feel the need to
Buying
get the
the
big
kids-
red bow and
No.
buy her a car. A lot of people doing that still.
I know that actually happens, man. They have big bows at car dealerships.
Oh, fuck yeah. Remember Gabara was telling us? Oh, yeah, dude, we have a few of them that each year
Unbelievable.
someone will ask for.
No, I've never done that.
Well,
Peloton.
the Peloton is getting in some shit with social media. Let's be clear. There's a new ad running there.
It's a gotcha moment, sort of, kind of, a little bit. It's just a way for somebody to tweet about something.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think this is upsetting. I don't.
I haven't seen. I think I've actually seen the ad on TV. I didn't know what I was seeing, but apparently this exercise bike, the Peloton, it's a couple $1,000s, $3,000, something like that for these things. And what is it? There's a video screen.
Yeah, and I think it's like a subscription service where you download these rides and.
Is any of it live? Like, I thought that you could be in like a class.
I think so.
Yeah, and so there's a teacher egging you on, and other guys are riding.
Yep.
It's kind of a virtual whatever. Do you have the commercial from Peloton? So it sparked sexism outcries, of course. Showed a husband surprising his wife with a $2,200 exercise bike on Christmas morning. The commercial is titled "The Gift That Gives Back." Shows this woman gasping in shock and exclaiming, "A Peloton!" She walks in to find the gift. She then begins documenting her use of the bike throughout the year and working out in what emerges to be a video she makes for her husband to thank him for the gift. So I guess they're just showing off some of the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
Look what you can do with this. Go ahead.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Now.
A Peloton? Give it up for our first time
All right,
ride.
first ride. I'm a little nervous, but excited. Let's do this. 5 days in a row. You surprised? I am. 6 a.m. Yay.
Rising with the sun.
That was totally worth it.
Let's go, Grayson Boston 50 rides.
She just said my name. A year ago, I didn't realize how much this would change me. Thank you.
This holiday, give the gift of Peloton.
And
what's wrong?
why is it assumed that this is telling your wife she needs to lose a few?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But why is that assumed? Why isn't it like, hey, you know, your wife's getting fit, you know, she's getting healthy, whatever. Her heart's more healthy than it was a year ago.
Excuse me. Do not tell me about my body, okay? It's a subtle hint that,
so
listen,
dumb.
fat ass, it's about time you got on a Peloton.
Yeah.
And that people are like,
Now let's be clear.
this skinny woman doesn't, this rail thin woman needs.
That's the thing. It's a real thin woman. So
If she
you're
was
not
a fat ass and he was like in shape, it'd be like,
well, you try the Peloton, then you
Peloton.
see her slowly losing weight over the year, and she's filming.
Yeah.
She's like, now I'm happy. Now I'm good for you, husband.
I never realized how much this would change me.
Yeah.
But that you could just go, no, it's part of a healthy existence. You know,
Just
she's
getting
already
fit.
in stunning shape.
Something
Clearly,
she enjoys, and
Yeah.
she's better for it.
Why make any products for anything ever?
I know.
Just
seriously.
don't even do anything.
What is Peloton to do for a commercial at Christmas?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the
this
fact
is
that
the
they
time
even-
of year that they need to be advertising. Everybody does.
Well, Mike, the fact that they even have a product that insinuates that anyone isn't okay. Actually, the product in general is just terribly
Got a great
offensive in
point there,
reality.
E.
Like,
Everybody's okay the way they are.
Yeah.
Why
So
even-
that's a good point.
yeah, why even? I think they shouldn't even go sell
do we even
Pelotons.
need Pelotons?
Right.
Be proud of who you are and the body you have. Seriously, who is Peloton to make these bikes? All about getting fit. What if I don't want to be fit?
running shoes? You could have a whole fitness industry and just be like, it's just offensive that it even exists.
Why does size small clothes exist?
Right.
So the commercial is coming under harsh, and I mean harsh criticism.
Oh no.
Online by social media users.
Twitter specifically.
Yes. Who claim it encourages negative stereotypes as well as implying that a husband will get more attractive wife in return for giving her the exercise bike. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, if
Doesn't
she
imply
uses
that.
it.
Doesn't imply that at all. Again, if she started out a fat ass and ended up rail thin and hot, then you'd have a point. She didn't.
Yeah, she was already hot.
Doesn't imply that.
Well, only if she uses it. Most of those things end up becoming a fucking clothes hanger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what most treadmills and Pelotons end up being. So if your fat ass wife actually uses the damn thing, maybe you get a return gift of a hot wife, which would be dynamite. What's wrong with that? What is the problem with going, honey, you look like shit. You're gross as hell. I got you a Peloton. Let's go. Let's get this thing back in order. You're grossing me out. I can't even sit in bed with you anymore. Get on this thing. She rides it. She starts documenting. She's getting hot. Then he's banging her again. And the Peloton saved their marriage.
Everybody's happy.
Yes, everyone's happy. That's a great story. You can make a movie out of that. Vice declared that the Peloton advert
Vice.
woman is absolutely not okay. Absolutely not okay.
How fun it must be to write these articles. It must
People are
just be a
miserable.
blast.
People are
It must
just
be a
fucking
blast
miserable.
to write an article like that.
Nothing says maybe you should lose a few pounds like gifting your already rail-thin partner a Peloton. Hands up if the Peloton Christmas ad made you sick in your mouth and resolve never to be that guy in a relationship.
Sick in your mouth. Sick in your mouth.
Would you resolve to never be that guy in a relationship? Oh, the one that dropped $2,500 on a gift for you?
All right.
Keep you healthy?
What an asshole.
I'm buying Pelotons for every girl I've ever met.
Ooh. That's quite a...
Nah, I'm not going to
I was going to say, let's clear that on a microphone.
I've never got that. My parents have never had a relationship where my mom would ever look and go, really? Blender? I got a washing machine? I got a new dishwasher for Christmas? Really?
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh my God, amazing. That's fucking awesome. A new one. Cool. But I guess, does that really happen? Or is that just...
I don't know.
I mean, are there girls out there, the guy gives them, something... And then the girl's like, vacuum, really? Asshole. Is that a thing? Or is that just
on
like
Twitter?
Is it just an article every year?
Yeah,
Is it just an
right,
article
right.
we read every year?
I don't know.
If you're that woman, stop. He's not trying to bum you out. Trust me.
Yeah, you can promise me. You can be probably pretty assured of that. Like the thought that you're right, your husband is sitting there thinking, what could I know we got to buy each other these things. What could I buy her that would benefit me only? And just really get at her. Nothing more than my wife.
How do
just
I
being-
ruin her Christmas?
That will ultimately ruin my Christmas.
Outside
by the
of
way.
coal in the stocking, how do I fuck her day up? I know what I'll do. I'll get her a Peloton.
I'd
or
love
a
to go to
blender.
that family dinner and have her just being pissed off at whatever I bought her.
That's funny. Yeah, we can't win. Oh, we got to do a spot. Well, all right, we'll insert a spot here. Who is this from, Jay? What did we, Hamlin or, is it?
You tell me.
I
mean-
think that's what it was. Well, let's listen. We'll find out. Just give me a blank space here for a second. I'll insert it later. Now we got another problem here, Jay. Sexism exists everywhere. It's a problem.
That's clear.
Is this just a few bitchy women making noise, or?
Well, what's the problem?
Well, kids' book, Mr. Men. You guys familiar with the Mr. Men
Mr.
series?
Men, is that like Mr. Messy and all that stuff? Or?
Things. It's like sold over 100 million books throughout the
Yeah,
run
I think
or whatever.
so. I think they're small square books, like 12 pages or
like
something.
an
It's
orange ball or some shit.
Yeah, I
and
think they're different. Some of the dudes are little blue balls or whatever, little green balls, whatever, and they're
Yeah.
Mr. Happy,
Mr.
Mr.
Clever,
Messy,
yes.
Mr. Clever. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pull up an image of it, E? Like Mr. Men, the book? It was only a matter of time before.
They've been around forever.
Children's-
Somebody's
yeah.
ripping on Mr. Men.
Well, he's mansplaining shit. And you can't have that today.
Yeah, there you go, Mr.
Yeah.
Tickle.
Mr. Tickle. Mr. Tickle sounds like a fucking pervert.
Yeah.
Right?
Mr.
question.
Marvelous, like him.
Yeah. Mr. Tickle.
Although he's got a
You know-
nice, classy top hat, or like a hat that he's tipping, so that's classy.
He's no Mr. Peanut. He lacks a monocle, and
Yeah,
it's
but
really
he-
not a top hat.
something.
It's more of a derby.
He's tipping his cap, though. That's something. I don't think
I don't
perverts
care
tip a
if
cap.
he's tipping his hat and a perfect gentleman half the time. He's getting handsy. And you are excusing his atrocious behavior. I go, that's what he does. That's what Mr. Tickle does. He just randomly walks up to chicks and tickles them.
Mr. Mischief, Mr. Greedy, Mr. Quiet. Yeah, all right.
I don't like this series at all. This is troubling. So this is what's happened. The offending book, Mr. Men in Scotland. Mr. Men in Scotland. Prompting accusations of mansplaining. We've got a student, Shelby Judge. Boy, it's right there in her name. She's going to judge this book. So Shelby's got an issue with this. She was absolutely furious by a scene in which Mr. Clever and Little Miss Curious discussed the Forth Bridge. It reads, Mr. Clever explained that it was named after the River Forth. Little Miss Curious thought for a moment. So what happened to the river first, the river second, the river third? Get it?
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Clever sighed. It's going to be a long day. She said, so Shelby says, the Mr. Men books are intended for children, and it's telling them, girls, you need to be stupid, and men, it's your job to explain things. Yes. Yes. That's the ideal situation, right? We all agree with that. You be stupid, and I'll mansplain things to you.
I'd way rather have them know what's going on. I do not like it
Yeah.
when I have to explain things.
No.
Funny thing.
Dude,
I'd rather have them explain shit to me.
Right, like honestly,
I don't want to have to explain stuff.
smarten up, dude, and tell me because I'd be happy.
You want to be Little Mr. Curious.
Right, you show me
I
how
don't know.
fucking the TV works, man.
I should have read this line first. Mrs. Judge, who has studied feminist issues. Oh, God. You studied feminist issues? How can I be more cunty in the world? How do I get to be more of a pain in the ass for people? Oh, I know. I'll study feminism. Ugh. So she's done that, feminist issues.
So she's now issue spotting all over the world,
Yes.
including the Mr.
Well, she's
Man
got to
book.
create work for herself, so she's
Yeah.
got that degree.
Well, if feminism goes away,
Her
I
job,
mean,
right.
she's what? Now what? Now what does she have to bitch about and whine and complain about?
Well, plus her job will be done because her degree will be useless.
Doesn't that say something, Shelby, Judge, that you're down to a children's book? Two cartoon characters. They're not really a boy or a girl anyways. They're balls. They're just orange balls.
Well, look at this, Miss Chatterbox.
Ugh.
Jeez.
We all know one of those, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Little Miss Chatterbox. Do you have a picture of the Mr. Men in Scotland?
Here, I think.
Shouldn't it be Mr. People or something too? I don't like the Mr. Men.
Is this the one that? Because this is the one that was in the article. I just pulled up the Google to
Yeah.
show.
He's a fine-looking gentleman too, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, he sure is. He's bespectacled. She's got a nice do, I suppose.
They're just heads with arms and legs. It's essentially
Yeah,
what these.
yeah.
Where are they having sex?
The publisher of. Well, you don't see any
Are they
children.
making
They don't
more
have
of them?
kids. I
How
don't
do they
know.
reproduce?
Egmont, UK, the publisher of the Mr. Men book, said in Mr. Men Scotland, the many Mr. Men and Little Miss characters in the book get up to their usual antics. The book is a celebration of Scotland and its unique heritage sites. Sold over 100 million copies, but I guess we're sorry, Mr. Judge. That
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
And what are they supposed? The funny
Do it
thing
better
is, what,
next time.
What are they
Yeah.
supposed to like? What is like?
Is there a
what's the
little
solution?
Mr. Curious, or is it just the women who don't know shit in your books?
The
Do you
funny
have a
thing
little
is,
Miss Tickle, or is it just the guy that gets to get all pawsy and handsy with everybody?
You know the reality. This one more than some of the things we've done for sure, because it's just like a kid's book, and it's just like you said, how many they've sold. The reality is, almost nobody will even hear about this complaint and these books. So they did their little sorry, and people will just keep buying the books.
They didn't even say sorry.
Oh, they just
They just said, in this book, they get up to their usual antics. See you
Oh.
later.
"Oh, good for them. Nice."
I mean, if you fell on the sword and bowed down to this one asshole, you'd be crazy. God, Mr. Tickle's got a whole series.
Holy shit, he's a spinoff.
What is that? What's
Tickle's
that?
a spinoff.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the whole key over here of all of them.
Yeah. I want to know what Tickle's angle is. I really do. Is he
Yeah.
getting permission to touch all these people? I'm assuming he's a tickler, right?
How's he getting away with this?
Yeah, let's see what other characters need to be lost. Okay, what do we got here, E? Mr. Tickle's the lead guy. He's number one at the top. And why are his arms so long?
Why is Mr. Nosy so black?
Wow.
I mean,
Mr. Sneeze.
there's a few of them that are like jet black.
Yeah.
Mr. Clumsy.
Mr. Snow. You just ripped off a snowman.
Look at Mr. Tall.
Look at Mr. Skinny. Mr. Messy. Look at Mr. Messy.
Yeah.
The artist just went, I'll just scribble. It's Mr. Messy.
Mr. Bounce. I mean, that's just one of them, right? Like he's just bouncing up and down.
Mr. Topsy. Mr. Uppity is black as Mr. Fussy, Mr. Muddle, Mr. Clumsy. All the black ones are negative. None of them are happy.
Yeah.
Look at that. You got Mr. Uppity. Sounds like an asshole. Mr. Fussy is jet black.
How come Mr. Snow gets a body? Look at that.
He's a snowman. You basically ripped off.
It's like Frosty up there.
Yeah, it's Frosty. Look at Mr. Mischief. Mr. Slow. Mr. Brave. Mr. Impossible. Okay.
Genius, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Mr. Nobody's White.
So simple, and this shit, how many copies is it sold?
100 million.
I mean,
Dude, I was going to tell you. The author is Roger Hargraves. He began publishing Mr. Men books in the 1970s.
Yeah.
With Little Miss books appearing in the 80s.
I remember
After
those
he
sitting
died,
at like dentist's office and
Yes.
shit, just sitting on the side.
I do too now. So he dies in 1988. His son Adam starts taking over Mr. Men and Little Miss stories.
It's like, fuck it.
Dude, why not? What a
Shit's
perfect
easy as hell.
family business to leave.
How
It's
hard
like
could they be to write?
they can't.
I mean, let me see if
They can't be hard. The only thing he's got to watch out for is if he's creating new characters. I think you stick with the original lineup that Pop created. If you
Yeah.
start getting all, Mr.
Just pick a characteristic and write a 12-page book about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You
Draw
don't
a
have to
head.
draw good.
You just draw a head.
If he came up with Mr. Messy, yeah, I made a character too of Mr. Messy.
Yeah.
Nice job, retard kid. My retarded son came up with Mr. Messy, just scribbled and put eyes on it.
Inspired by Pigpen, no doubt.
Oh, clearly. Yeah, there's some ripped off shit in that for sure. But that's hilarious. What a perfect business to take over.
Oh, I know.
12 pages. You don't have to draw. You don't have to write good. It's like, what's Mr. Tickle up to today? Well, there's the postman. Mr. Tickle tickles him.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Dude, when he dies, I'm going to take over the Mr. Men stuff. Just don't get all PC today, Mr. Trans, Mr. Transgender.
Oh, yeah, right.
Can you see that? Miss and Miss Lesbian couple.
Miss Man.
The gays. Miss Man. Hey, everybody, it's Miss Man. Welcome to the neighborhood, ma'am. She's got a beard, and you can see the giant cock bulge in her pants.
Right.
She's Woman of the Year. Just a lady. Just a lady.
Our friend Mark Leibovitz wants to ask you, do you need an annuity rescue? If you purchased an annuity 5 or more years ago, you're probably paying way too high of fees. There are better lower fee options now. If you have an annuity that you want reviewed, call Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial. See if he can save you thousands of dollars in fees. Call 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
God, dude, I love these stories where it's like, you can't, how do you not see this as coming as a problem? You know, it's like, some idiot wore blackface to a Halloween party. You're like, really, dude? Really? Really? How do you not know you can't do that nowadays, you know, nowadays? Got another teacher, and it's like, substitute teacher terminated after she told an 11-year-old boy that he should not be thankful for his adoptive dads because homosexuality is a sin.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, there are plenty of places to give your opinion on
In the
things.
classroom at a public school.
For an 11-year-old.
This dude, though, he's a sub, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's just like, fuck it. I know I'm
I
going
think
to
he's
get...
a chick teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get run out of here, but I'm going
going
to
out.
say my piece. Throw a bomb on this one. And the dad, the adoptive dad, is a dude from Dancing with the Stars, right?
Yeah, he's a dancer on there. You think this is a blaze of glory moment?
I think so.
Really?
I think it's like, fuck it. I'm making $12 an hour.
I've had enough. How can I really go out in stunning
Yeah, that's a
fashion?
good point, man. You know, it's
not like you're
What if you had a video
tenured-
and he leaned in like Mike always talks about, just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Your dad and dad are an abomination, and you should not be thankful for it.
It's not God's way. The teacher went on she went on a giant homo rant in
Drop
front of
the
the
mic.
classroom of 5th graders. Don't you get 2 sentences into that rant and see the horrified looks on kids' faces? And
I think
go,
it's what Jay's thing. I think it's Jay's. I think this is so obnoxious that I think it was probably a drop the mic. What could I do to just fucking...
Yeah.
Or-
if it wasn't a sub, if you're talking about some tenured chick with a pension and all that, then you're
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, what are you thinking, man? But
Yeah.
I think it's a drop the mic.
That'd be, dude.
I'm out.
I kind of
I'm out.
respect it then. But this... So this is at Deerfield Elementary School in Utah, where the students were sharing what they were thankful for ahead of Thanksgiving.
You got to rain on this kid's parade. Like, set aside whether you can say that sort of thing in a school.
You can't.
Like, take it out of a school.
Yeah.
Like, you're
In a
going to
park.
tell a kid who's
He
about to be
doesn't know
adopted.
the deal. Like,
Who's been asked what he's thankful
Yes.
for this year? He goes, what I'm thankful... It's not what you're thankful for, cunt. You asked the kids each. He says, I'm thankful that I have 2 new adopted
I've been
dads.
adopted. I'm an orphan.
Homosexuality is a sin. It's an
Well, and the thing,
abomination
yeah, that's the
against
thing.
God.
He's not thankful for that. Like, he finally got a boyfriend. And he's got, I found out a guy that wants to suck my dick or something. It's like his dads are the one. Like,
Yeah.
he's not
I'm
even
gonna be
gay.
taken care
Like,
of.
right?
I'm going to be loved by adults. Adults are going to
Yeah,
take me
but they're
and feed me,
gay.
clothe me,
He
and
didn't
love
say
me.
like
gay,
he's
though.
thankful for cocksucking, like, or something. Like,
I get to watch these 2 men jerk each other off every night. I'm so thankful for that. No, they're going to love this kid and feed and clothe him and be there for him and raise him. Homosexuality is a sin, abomination. It's not God's way. Thanks for your opinion, ma'am.
It's Utah.
When he turns to speak, the boy Daniel, he tells her, I'm thankful I'm finally going to be adopted by my 2 dads. That's what he says to the class. I'm thankful I'm finally going to be adopted by my 2 dads. I could cry right now. Why on earth would you be happy about that, was her response. Why on earth would you be happy about that?
what a bitch.
She proceeded to spend the next 10 minutes lecturing the class about how homosexuality is wrong and 2 men living together is a sin. That's nothing to be thankful for. The substitute told Daniel, who spent years in foster care, endured 2 failed adoptions in the past, and he's so thankful now that he's got 2 loving dads. It's an abomination.
Wow.
That is nothing to be thankful for. Fuck. Can you imagine how confused poor Daniel must have been? He's 11. Well, but they want me. No one else wants me, but they do. 3 girls in the class said they tried to stop the teacher multiple times. But she continued with her remarks. Eventually, the girls left the room to find the principal, who escorted the substitute out of the school, probably kicking her fucking faggot. Goddamn homos, it's an abomination. That's nothing to be thankful for, Daniel. 2 dads. To escort her out of the school. What was going on that day in Utah when she was driving into class?
Right before all this.
Just
yeah.
before the Thanksgiving holiday, you know, she's gearing up for the whatever. So Daniel's soon to be adopted parents, Lewis and Josh Van Amstel, praised the Principal Nadler for her reaction and expressed horror at the sub's hurtful remarks. Lewis is a champion ballroom dancer, longtime performer on Dancing with the Stars. He posted about the incident on his Facebook page. He said, Daniel was so fearful that this could make us think that we don't want to adopt him. Like, the teacher got in his
he's
little
like,
tiny
don't fuck
head.
this up. Don't fuck this
Dude,
up.
Fuck, man. Do you know how bad it sucks to be in the fucking boys' village?
Yeah.
Shit. Don't say anything. What if they hear you and they're like, yeah, we don't want him anymore? That's definitely not going to happen, he said. But this situation really hurt him. This person really hurt us. Spokesperson for the Alpine School District said, substitute teachers are hired through Kelly Services. Take it up with them. We don't do the hiring. Appropriate action has been taken. We're concerned about any reports of inappropriate behaviors, and we take these matters very seriously. We're looking into it. Yeah.
Out of all the things you read, this is one of those ones where this is just terrible, dude. Like this is honestly, this is would borderline, like when we say like outraged and offended. I think that those words would apply to this if you were that kid. Like honestly, like I believe that is outrage and offense should be taken.
It's child abuse
I
level
know.
shit.
I know.
You know what I mean? So what are we thankful for? Well, I'm thankful for, having food on the table and a roof over my head. I'm thankful for my cat. I'm thankful to be finally adopted by my 2 dads. What? Nothing to be thankful for. I mean, who lashes?
cruel.
It's
just
cruel.
Yeah.
It's cruel. It's hilarious to read in story form. I got to admit.
Right.
But
I would like video of it. I would love fucking video of it.
I mean, imagine the classroom scene taking place. 3 girls are going, hey, Miss...
Like they're
Miss
trying
Smith,
to stop her.
Trying to stop her, and she's not having it. She's not having it. No way.
Oh my God.
Love it. Poor little Daniel. Hope he has a great family now with his 2 dads. Sad news. Remember Lil Bub?
Not
You guys
really.
remember Lil Bub?
No.
The cat? He stopped growing at 7 months old. She's like a kitten.
Okay.
Forever a kitten.
Yeah.
He's kind of fucked up. Got like an extra digit or something. His tongue hangs out.
Yes.
Yeah, Lil Bub he hit big. Well, he's 8. He died. We lost Little Bub. There he is. That's Little Bub. Yeah,
He's a cute.
He has cute little hands and stuff. And he's tiny. He's wee. He's just a wisp of a
What's
guy.
wrong with him, though? You know what I mean? Like, what is it about his face that's fucked up? Because it is fucked up,
He's
right?
got a goofy little eye.
Is it like his
The
mouth
nose
isn't big
is a
enough or
little
something?
weird.
The nose
like his
is,
snout isn't
Yeah,
big
I
enough
don't
or
know why.
something?
His nose
he had
looks odd to me.
He had 2 rare genetic defects. He was kitten sized. We could stop growing at 7 months.
Look at little Bub, huh?
Yeah, that's Little Bub. Yeah, I'm Bub.
That's a crystal clear photo of their cat eating food.
Yeah, that's
that's with a legit. That's not with your iPhone. That's like
legit photo. Oh, he's an author, dude. He's a hit too.
Well, no, he's not taking the photos. though, Mike. Someone.
Yeah, but he obviously brought a crew in.
Okay.
Brought a
What is he
team in.
dipping that bowl into a vat of cat food or something? Look at all. It's all down the
filthy.
sides and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. what
Watching
kind of
cats
bowl
eat is
this?
so funny to me because it is like
Do you think
because they have
Bub
to
made
just
that mess? I mean,
get-
that thing hasn't been washed in days.
No.
Dude. That is Why would you take that picture with that crusted, filthy bowl?
But it's so funny, Jay, to me, like how they have to get on their little, they have to lean down and get on their, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like they can't. It's like
You ever see a cat drink in slow
Oh my
motion?
God.
The
Oh my
tongue
God, it's
goes
the
like
best.
backwards.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah,
it's the best.
it forms like a spoon.
Yeah.
So Bub had a short turned up nose and her pink tongue stuck out from the jaw. She also had 2 extra digits on her 2 front hands. So yeah, her owner, Lil Bub, 2.3 million Instagram followers, has died at the age of 8. Her owners,
man.
Michael and Stacy Bradavsky, made the announcement on social media. It's me, Mike, Bub's dude. Bub has departed. She's on her way home. He wrote on Instagram, on the morning of Sunday, December 1st, 2019, we lost the purest, kindest, and most magical living force on the planet. Bub was cheerful, full of love, laying in our bed with us Saturday night, and then passed away peacefully in her sleep.
Oh, little Bub.
Is there any chance one of them rolled over in the night when
Yes.
little Bub was laying
There's
there?
a chance.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, died peacefully in her sleep. Crazy.
Oops.
Got a little shit face the night before, rolled over on little Bub. Lil Bub was battling a persistent and aggressive bone infection. Look at Bub.
Yeah.
Look at Bub on the left.
Dwarfism, man. Or she.
Yeah. So, Lil Bub was known for the big green eyes, surprised expression, and permanently open mouth. Became an internet sensation thanks to her appearance. Her rise began when Michael began taking pictures of Lil Bub with some of the musicians who came to record at his home studio in Indiana. And so he would post pictures of the pet and the musicians on a blog for his amusement of his friends. But soon people are all over the world like, can we get more pictures of Bub?
Screw the musicians.
Soon Lil Bub began amassing a huge following on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. In time, she had her own book, Lil Bub's Lil Book.
No way.
Yeah, The Extraordinary Life of the Most Amazing Cat on the Planet.
Oh, my gosh.
Lil Bub was also recently photoed being held by Robert De Niro at the Tribeca Film Festival, where she starred in a documentary about the phenom of famous cats called Lil Bub and Friends. The film won the online festival Best Feature Film. Lil Bub and Friends. Yeah, I got a movie. I'm an actor now. I'm acting in movies and stuff.
There she is. There's her little book.
You know, how dope would it be, dude? You just adopt an animal, and for whatever reason, it becomes a smash hit.
Yeah.
It's like a child actor, you know? But it's never going to complain like,
Like
oh, my
Grumpy
parents
Cat.
ripped me off.
Grumpy
you know?
Cat made millions, man.
Hell yeah. Lil Bub probably did too. You'd be selling buttons and keychains and T-shirts, mouse pads, Mies pads.
Calendars. Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine a Lil Bub calendar? I guarantee there's a Lil Bub calendar.
There should be.
Yeah. Yeah. But Lil Bub's Lil Book. And you don't have to give the cat shit. All the money that comes in,
That
it's not
is
going
the
to
best
Bub.
part. That is the beauty if you think about it. If you have a pet that ends up becoming that, you're
Yeah.
right.
It's like all this money for Lil Bub. Lil Bub's the star, and Lil Bub doesn't get dick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Lil Bub,
Not affected negatively, positively, nothing. Just
nothing.
doing what she
doesn't
does.
even know.
Nope.
Has no clue. Maybe a little extra catnip. Maybe his brown circle bowls are updated more frequently and stuff. But it's got to be a bummer when he passes, though. Yeah, Bub has made a huge difference in the world of animal welfare and in the lives of millions of people worldwide. She has literally saved thousands of lives, both pets and humans. Really?
Literally?
Literally saved thousands of lives, both
What?
human and pet. How
so?
That's remarkable if that's true. She started the first national fund for special needs poops. Yeah, started a fund for special needs poops. She was the subject of a groundbreaking genetic and biological research. She helped raise over $700,000. She's
just a runt.
For animals in need.
She's the runt of the litter.
Has spread a message of determination, positivity, and perseverance to people all over the world. Back to saving the lives of thousands of
But I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's Bob. Hey, Bob. Just go sit down, Bob. That thing sits like that all day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tongue hanging out.
Remember Pean's Nut?
Pean's Nut.
Peanut. Remember little Peanut, the dog around here?
Which one? I mean,
The little guy, the one that bit my ear. It's absolutely fucking adorable. I got a message from her parents. It's Peanut's first Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, remember Peanut?
Sure.
Yeah.
The one on the right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
I
guy.
think I do.
Yeah, you remember dude. You'll remember Peanut. Peanut was here for
Yeah, I remember.
a while, and Peanut was the best. But yeah, I got a home. They didn't change her name, which I love. They kept it Peanut, which is the best. And yeah, I just got that picture this morning. It's Peanut's first Christmas. It's great. Do we have any email, Jay?
We do. Before we get to that, Mike, I'd love to know, what do you think about Billie Eilish not knowing who Van Halen is?
I saw that story. Billy, I didn't know who that was. So, in fairness to her, I didn't know who Billie Eilish was.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you think it was a dude?
I did when I first saw the story trending on Twitter yesterday. Do you know who Billie Eilish is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
I
is
think
it?
most people know who Billie Eilish is. I mean, she's enormous. She's an enormous,
fat,
huge recording artist. Oh, there's Peanut. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Peanut.
Here's Peanut taking a little napsy poo with tea.
My thing is, like, why would Billie Eilish know who Van Halen is? She's 17.
Yeah.
You know, like, do you
Yeah.
think Van Halen is like that groundbreaking? I'm just curious, like, that a 17 or 18-year-old chick should know. She is in the music industry.
When we were
so-
17 and 18, is that the equivalent of going, I don't know who Led Zeppelin is?
No.
You don't think so?
They-
Jimi Hendrix?
No. Because the amount of music now that's available is unlimited. You can have it on demand.
Yeah.
Like back when we were kids, it was like, okay, you were sort of like, well, if I like rock music, I go down this narrow silo of radio stations, etc.
Yeah.
I'm just not surprised at all that she wouldn't know that, and people are just outraged that she's not paying them enough respect or something. Like,
The funny
fucking
thing
Van
is,
Halen.
Eddie Van Halen doesn't listen to music, and so he doesn't know who anyone is either. You know, like
really.
he doesn't listen to music. Period. He likes the sound of the car engine driving down the road. Like it pisses his family off. The last album he bought was like Peter Gabriel's in 1988. No, the only music he listens to is what he's recording in the studio. He's never heard like anything. You'd be shocked at what Eddie Van Halen knows about music, like what he listens to. Nothing.
I just wonder how many 17, 18-year-olds do know about Van Halen. Because I wonder if my boys, I know they've heard of them probably, but I bet they couldn't name a song.
Yeah, I wonder if they heard it though. They go, "Oh yeah, I've heard that song before."
I think that they do that, but they wouldn't put two and two together. Like, oh yeah, that's Van Halen. Jump.
See, Van Halen is one of those, like Eddie Van Halen changed music, right? Like his guitar style was revolutionary. It's a weird one. That's a weird question because he's a breakthrough artist that I think will go down like Jimi Hendrix. You know, I don't know. It's not like they tour a lot. It's not like they are in the public eye a lot. And what kid's listening to radio?
Correct.
Like who's listening to fucking a radio station? Nobody.
Correct.
So a kid isn't like going to bump into Van Halen song on a classic rock station. Yeah, no, they shouldn't know who Van Halen is.
Just wanna
Test
make
it.
sure.
Ask your boys.
I will. I'm sure they've heard
I
of them.
bet they
no
do.
question they've heard of them. But if I said name a song,
Would they know Motley Crue?
They've heard of them.
Would they know Poison? Bon Jovi?
I doubt if they've heard of Poison.
Yeah. I knew I'd get one in there like...
Yeah. They'd probably be like, yeah, I guess, yeah, sounds like a band, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's no way in fuck they know who Bon Jovi probably is. Yeah, they probably know
Know
the
who
name
Bon Jovi is. Yeah. They're more relevant still than a lot of those bands. They might know who Motley Crue is just from like The Dirt.
Yeah.
You know, because they'd be up on Netflix shit, I guess. Yeah. I'm trying to think of bands that were, you know, Sly and the Family Stone. You know what I mean? Like that. What would that be comparative to Poison? Of art, you know what I mean? Like I know that band. I don't really know the band, but I've heard of it.
Yes.
Have you heard of Sly and the Family Stone? Yeah. I couldn't name really.
I'm with you.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
But should that be to her? Should Sly and the Family Stone? Should that be what Van Halen is to her? I don't think it should.
Yeah, I don't know why that was.
I think
such
she's
a big
completely excused.
story.
I know because I think
Honestly-
she's completely excused from this.
Was that on Jimmy Kimmel?
Yes.
She was on Jimmy Kimmel.
And it's not like she's
and
like-
she admitted she knew who Madonna was. I think that's how it started. He was like, "Do you know who Madonna is?" And she's like, "I do. I know Madonna." Van Halen, never heard of it. And I
People, oh my god!
it blew up. It was
Yeah.
huge. That story blew up on Twitter, everything, and people are back and forth debating. And I'm like, that was not surprising at all. I would have been surprised if she did. I would have been impressed if she knew who Van Halen was.
You should actually listen to her. She's very unique.
What is
And you
her
might-
music style?
It's like I mean, it's on pop stations, but it's super like electronic kind of. She's got a really unique voice and unique style. It's really hard to describe because it's so unique.
Who's the chick with the hair over her eyes?
Sia.
Sia, is it like one of those?
No, it's
or
not
like
melodic like that. Like a lot of times she's just kind of like muttering. She mutters a lot. Bad Guy. You've never heard Bad Guy?
No. Where would I hear
I'm
this
the
stuff?
bad guy. I don't know.
Unless
Just through
it's on a-
osmosis.
No.
When the party's over. It was
No.
like the biggest song from last year.
No. You know this stuff?
I listened to his songs. I didn't care for it that much personally.
Dude, I'm out. I'm out of the bubble. Like
I
I'm
think,
in
like-
my home. Like where would I even have a chance
I
to
don't
bump
know,
into
but
it?
to the extent you know who Ed Sheeran is, like you should know who Billie Eilish is. I feel like
Yeah, but Ed Sheeran's like biggest thing in the world. Like that's
she is the biggest thing in the
would
world
she
right
play
now.
O2 Arena and shit like that. I mean, she like one of those
She
an
actually,
arena
she
performer?
sold out LCA pretty fucking fast.
Really? She's
enormous
yeah.
right now.
I mean,
Wow.
her StubHub tickets were like hundreds of dollars, like hundreds of dollars or whatever.
Yeah, I guess you know.
But I honestly, I
He's
don't know
into
much
a lot
about
of
her.
weird shit, and you're out and active a lot. Jay, you've got kids, obviously, so you're informed about a lot of stuff. Like me, I'm gonna get in my car and listen to a podcast or
Yeah, but I
personal music
feel like
that
it
I've
should just be like the
downloaded.
next up on YouTube or something. Like I feel like that should have just by osmosis somehow
No.
gotten into your No.
It's harder than you think, dude. Jenny,
Not
'cause
at
honestly,
all.
like even like I just recently, I was telling you like recently, I decided like I was like I should listen to Post Malone. Like I feel like I'm like I should.
You know
I
who Post
hear,
Malone is,
I
right?
hear this
Basketball
name.
player.
I hear this name enough. I should listen to it.
Posts up a ton.
Yeah.
And
Postman, Karl
yeah.
Malone.
in the end, I feel like you're right. A few of the songs,
It's Carl's
the biggest
kid, Post.
songs I had heard of before, but like I don't know. It's harder. You have to really.
Yeah, there's so
for
much
the
out
same
there.
reason that you said
So
that
much
she
out
might
there.
not know Van Halen is
Yeah.
the same reason that it's easy for me not to
Right.
hear them because
I
there
mean,
is
he
so
doesn't know
much.
shit. Remember, he didn't know Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
You know, he
But I
literally
thought
didn't
but
know
he's,
who
he's
Guns-
more modern. He's up to date, man.
I
felt
mean, I
like-
know,
I know,
but
but
it's
a
still even then
38-year-old
it's
man
hard.
should know who Guns N' Roses are.
Yeah, but he sort of hit up. If I'm wrong,
If it
correct
weren't for
me.
if it weren't
but
for electric, you know what though?
I
If it
think he
weren't-
hit a point where everything forward he knows, but like before
Yeah.
he hit that point, he's totally retarded and knows nothing
Yeah,
behind that.
Fair. Yeah.
And it really, if it weren't for me getting into electric music like I have, my knowledge of popular newer music would be way worse than it is.
I need
that
to have
helps me
something
so
like
much.
a documentary. Documentaries can add so much. There was one I was watching about some rapper DJ guy, and it was like, oh wow, his story traveling around the world. And then there's some other rapper, I can't remember his name, but they did like a Netflix thing on him. You guys would know, I'd never fucking heard of the guy, and I watched him like, this dude is blowed up. I mean, these fans are going ape shit for him, and he's,
Logic.
What's that?
Was it Logic?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but it was someone that's relevant, popular now, and they had some documentary on him, and I watched it, and it was like, oh, cool. This guy. All right, I can get behind this, but I needed to watch it. That's what I'm saying.
So they needed.
But I didn't know
documentary
anything.
on
That
Billie
does help
Eilish.
me, honestly.
And
Netflix
but there's
does.
50,000 people singing every word, going crazy, and this guy's insane on stage, flying into the crowd like with his fans and shit. He was like an internet sensation.
That does
blew
help,
up.
honestly. They do a lot of these things now. Like if Netflix comes out with a weird thing where they do some of this stuff, it does help.
Yeah, remind me tomorrow. Maybe I'll fucking look it up and see if I can remember what it was and tell you guys. Because you'll be like, oh, Jesus, dude, what year are you? What?
DJ Khalid.
Maybe you guys have heard
DJ
of him.
Khaled.
Khaled, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Khalid
what-
is different than DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, one's a terrorist, one's an artist. Is that what it is?
They're both artists, Mike.
Seriously?
Save the rest for tomorrow.
Very good. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Hopefully, you'll join us then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.